طيب السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Today inshallah we're talking about the representing decimals. Before we start with the decimal, we need to start with a fraction. Can anyone give me what is the meaning of a fraction? What is the meaning of the fraction? What do you know about the fraction? If you know the answer, please raise your hand. Give me any definition, anything that you know about the fraction. What do you know about the fraction? Where you can find the fraction? No one know anything about the fraction? Fraction. What is the meaning of the fraction? Malik, what is the meaning of the fraction?
Fraction means like when you like split something up with
Sorry. Again, please, again.
Basically like when you split something in half or quarter.
Wallahi, I can't hear you clearly. Can you repeat again? And raise your voice. Right or wrong, no problem for me. I need to know what is the meaning of the fraction.
Fractions is basically when you divide something, like cut it in half, split it basically.
Yes, splitting a thing or divide it into parts, equal parts. Okay, that's one of the answers. So when you divide anything into parts, that's called fraction. That's one of the answers. Okay, we have another one here. Please name yourself, please. What's your name? I opened the mic. Hamza. Please, Hamza, rename yourself when you enter. Use your name. Okay. Okay, Hamza time. What you know about the fraction, Hamza?
Huh?
What you know about the fraction? My question, just give me anything that you know about the fraction. So why you are raising your hands? Give me anything about the fraction. Anything that you know about the fraction, no problem.
Divide two numbers.
Divide two numbers. So when I say 8 divided by 2 is a fraction?
Yes.
8 divided by 2 equals 4. 4 is not a fraction.
5 divided by 2.
5 divided by 2. In the form of a fraction. Okay. So how the fraction? That's all about the fraction, just dividing? What is the meaning of dividing by dividing? Why you use the division for the fraction? Just give me anything. Any answer will be accepted. Anything that you say, I will accept. But I need to know what you know about the fraction. Do you know anything else about the fraction?
When you divide two numbers, there is a remaining.
Remaining. Okay. So we need Qandil. Can you give me the meaning of the fraction? Anything that you know about the fraction? Okay. So we can start with a fraction. What is the meaning of a fraction? Fraction is a part of a whole one. Just we have here, suppose that we have a rectangle or anything, any shape, and you divide it into two equal parts. That must be two equal parts. So now we have just one part. When I ask you to write the fraction, just the shaded part is represented one part out of two. That is the form of a fraction. That is the form of a fraction. One here is called, did anyone remember what is the meaning of one? What is the one is called? Cindy, Ahmed Cindy. You know what is the one? We call one by a name. What is the name of this one?
1/2.
No, the fraction is called 1/2. But the one here is there is a name for one. Start with N. And there is a name for 2. Start with D. Any number up
Oh yeah, numerator and denominator.
Yes, that's what we need. So we have a fraction. With a fraction, we have two numbers divided each other. So we have one piece of chocolate, one piece of bread, one loaf of bread. We divide it into two equal parts. Must be equal. Must be equal. So the first one defined by the numerator, and the second one defined by the denominator. So that is the meaning of the fraction. The fraction is a part of a whole one. You just take a part of a whole one. Suppose that we have a circle pizza like that, and we divide it into 8 equal parts. So I just take these parts. So how many parts that I take? I just take 3 parts out of 8 parts. So we have now 3 8. You remember this one? Did anyone didn't remember this one? The meaning of the fraction now? If you have any problem with the fraction, please raise your hands. If you have any problem now with a fraction is a part of a whole one, then we can say that the first number here is called numerator and the second number here is called denominator, and all of that defined as a fraction. The two parts must be equal. Abdurrahman?
Mr. I don't understand what is a fraction.
Fraction, what is the meaning of fraction? Fraction is a part of a whole one. Part of a whole one. If you have a pizza,
What?
part of a whole one. Part of a whole one. We have pizza and we divide it into 4 parts. 4 parts. So when I ask you, write the value of the shaded part. How many shaded parts that you have? How many shaded parts now we shade now? In this figure, in this one. In this one, how many shaded parts? We just shade one part. Out of how many parts?
3.
Out
4.
of the total parts. So we shade only one part out of 4 parts. That's defined by the fraction. That is the meaning of the fraction. The 4 parts must be equal. So we have only one part out of 4 parts. The one here is called numerator.
Mister, we should write the small. We should write the smaller number above and
the greater number
the
down.
biggest number
Not
down. Yeah.
as not by this way. The part. What is the meaning? What is the meaning of the fraction? The fraction again. Fraction is a part of a whole one. Now we have how many shaded parts? If you write any fraction, you just write the colored part according to the whole parts. You can shade 5 from 4. You can shade 5 from 4. The maximum you can share 4. You can shade now 4. How many shade?
Mister, we can share 5, but it will not be equal.
How shade 5? You have 4 parts. You have 4 parts. How come you can shade 5?
No, I mean just if there's a pizza and there's 5 persons, you want to do it equal.
You divide it into 5 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It must be divided by 5 parts to shade the 5 parts. So how many shaded parts out of whole? A part out of whole. That is the meaning of a fraction. Again for this one. How many shaded parts out of the total parts? The total number of parts. That is the meaning of the fraction. You understand this point? The first number, when I say 3 out of 5, I just shade 3 parts out of 5. 3 here is called numerator. And the 5 here is called denominator. Okay? Any problem for this one? Use the mic, please, Ya Abdurrahman. Use the mic. Use the mic, because there is an echo in your sound. So now we need to shift from the fraction to the decimal. What is the meaning of a decimal? Decimal is type of fractions. That's type of fraction. But the denominator must be 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. So the fraction must be, again for this one, the fraction, the decimal is a type of a fraction, but with denominator, the denominator must be 10 or 100 or 1,000 or 10,000, 100,000. So that's the decimals, or million, or 10 million, and so on. So the decimal is a fraction type of fractions, but with denominator 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, and so on. Where we can find the decimal? If you open the Panda brochure, so we can find one of the prices is 10.95. What is the meaning of a point here? Point, which is called decimal point. This point is called decimal point. And the number at the right, which is defined as a decimal number. And the number at the left, which is whole number. Again, for this one. Now if we find a point in between the two numbers, or between the numbers, this point is called decimal point. Decimal point. The number at the right is called decimal number. The number at the left, which is whole number. So how we can convert between the fraction and the decimals? So open your book page 30. We need to open your book page 30. Page 30. Page 30. Did you open your book? If you open, please raise your hand. If you open, please raise your hand. Page 30. Okay. So we can start. Most of you open, so we can start. خلاص. Now look at the book now. We need to shade the model, then we need to write each fraction as decimal. So how we can represent this one? We need to shade. What is the meaning of shading 2 out of 10? From each 10 pieces, this shape is 10 pieces. If you count it, it will find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What is the meaning of 2 out of 10? You just need to shade 2 parts out of the 10 parts. So we have to shade the 2 parts, only 2 parts out of 10. So any problem for shading? From each 10 parts, I will just shade 2 parts. Any problem for this one? Any problem for this one? Okay, so how we can convert between the fraction to decimal? Now we have a fraction which is 2 over 10. We said to convert, the denominator must be 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, and so on. So at the first, write the number at the numerator without any change. Write 2. How many zeros down that we have? How many zeros? We have only 1 0. So we start counting from the right, just we put 1 point, which is the decimal point. There is nothing before the decimal, so we put 0. So 2 over 10 is read as a decimal as 0.2, or 2 tenths. Again for this one, when I have 5 over 10, how I can convert to be decimal? Just write the numerator without any change. How many zeros at the denominator? We have only 1 0. So we start counting from the right. 1, then we put the decimal. There is nothing before the decimal, so we put 0. So how we can read this number? It will be 0.5, or 5 tenths. Why tenth? Because we have only one number at the right of the decimal, so it will be the denominator is 10. Is there any problem for this point? If you didn't understand it, please raise your hand. I will open the mic for you and to explain it one more time. If you didn't understand this one. Okay, that's Walid. What's the problem, Walid? What is the part that you didn't understand? And I will read it again.
Not the part understand. They want to answer in one.
Okay, so can you answer with me number 2?
Yes.
This shape, it's mean 10. If you remember this one is 100. This one for
100.
the last one for the 1,000 part. Okay, so how we can represent the second one, number 2?
We will draw 58.
Each column is 10. Each column of them, this one has 10. So we have 10, 20, I will shade it with another color. Let me change it. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Then after that, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58. That's what we need. Is that clear right now how we can represent this one? How we can shade the parts? Any problem for this one? Walid?
No.
Okay, now I need to convert
Yes.
to be decimal. How I can convert this one to be decimal? As we convert 2/10, we need to convert this one. How we can convert it?
We will do
Write the
100.
numerator. No, write the numerator without any change. We have 58 out of 100. So we write the numerator without any change. That's 58. How many zeros down that we have?
2.
We will start counting from the right. 1, 2. Then we put the point. So it will be 0.58. 0.58. Or we can read it as 50. 8. 58 what? What is the denominator? What is the denominator that we have? What is the denominator that we have? No, what is the denominator? Read this number. Read this number. What is the denominator that we have? 100. So we say that 58 hundredth. 58 hundredth. If any number written at denominator, then you write THS for the number which is written at denominator. THS, that's referred to the number which is written at the denominator. Any problem, if anyone didn't understand how we can convert, just raise your hand. So I will write the number here, 0.58. Then we can say this will be 58 hundredth. Any problem for this one? Is it clear? Abdurrahman, what's the problem? What's the problem?
Mister, I just thought the answer is 20.58. Because
Two zeros like that? 2 zeros? 0.58?
yeah, 0.58. I thought
No.
this answer.
No. 0 at the left, there is no meaning for 0 at the left. If you just have the answer now. Now I'm subtracting this number. I will erase this one because I wrote it down. So when I ask you to subtract, if you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Can you subtract the two numbers?
Yeah.
What is the answer?
1.
No. The answer is 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So when you write the answer, you write by this way. When I ask you what is the answer, you said 5 zeros 1?
Say 1.
You say just 1. Why you said 1? Because 0 at the left, there is no meaning for 0 at the left. It will not change the number. If you add 100 0 at the left, it will never change the number. That's right? You understand this one? So because of that, when you have any number of zeros at the left of the decimal, I need just 1. Because the decimal point, you have to write just 1 0 before the decimal point. You can't add more than 2 zeros. You just, for the 2 zeros which are written at denominator, it's mean how many digits will be at the right of.
I don't understand, Mister.
I'm listening. What you didn't understand?
Mister, I don't understand why we write 0.2 like this.
Again, for this one, to convert between the numbers, we need to convert between the numbers. You remember that we have 3 forms to write the number. What are the 3 forms that we use to write the number? What are the 3 forms?
Standard form,
and
standard form, word form,
word form,
and expanded form.
and the expanded form. That is the three form. Then we can write convert between them. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now we have a fraction. We have a decimal as a type of fractions. Decimal is a type of fraction, but with denominators 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, and so on. So if the denominator is 10, 100, 1,000, we can convert this number to be written in the form of a decimal. Like we can convert the number from this form. What is the name of this form? It's called the fraction form. What is the name of this form? It's called the decimal. So how we can convert between the fraction and the decimal, that's what we need.
Fraction.
So number one, to convert from the fraction to decimal, look at denominator. The denominator must be 10, 100, 1,000, and 10,000, and so on. Okay, that is the first point. That is the first point. The denominator must be 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000. So suppose that we have a number here, 13 over 100. 13 over 100.
10, not 0.
No, it's starting from 10. You can't divide any number by 0. Can you divide any number by 0? You can't divide any number by 0.
No.
So it must start from 10, 100, 1,000, and so on. Plus. So the first one here, if you need to convert this number to be decimal, how we can convert it? Just write the numerator without any change. Then, how many zeros down? How many zeros down?
2.
So start counting from the right. 1, 2. After the second number, put the decimal point. So the answer now is 0.13. So 13 over 100 in the form of a fraction is equals 0.13 in the form of a decimal. You understand it? Like 34, just 1 minute, 34 in standard form as the same as 34 in word form as the same as 30 plus 4 in expanded form. You understand them? So what you want to say now?
Mister, you told me that we can't write like 5 zeros. If the answer 5 zeros and 1, we can't say this. We should say 1.
Yes.
So why you write here 0 and you don't
because
write
we have a decimal.
Zeros?
Because why I have to write zeros? Zeros at the left. Now that is the first whole number. Decimal point must be lies between two numbers. Decimal point must lies between two numbers. So the number at the right, which is 13. What is the number at the left? Is there any number?
No.
No. So you have to write, replace it with 0. When I ask you, write 304.
Yeah.
Write this number, 304. Just a minute. 304. How you write this number?
Write
In a standard form. I need to write standard form. That's the number written in word form. How you write it?
304.
How? I ask you, just read. You give me the digit and I will write it.
Yeah. 3.
Just give me the
3
digit.
then 0. 3 then 0 and 4.
No, 3, 4. Where you find 0? Because I said 300. 3 and 100. And the 4, I just say 4.
Yeah,
4, it
it's
means
in the
that's
middle.
once. It means this one is once.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is 100. Where is the tens? There is no tens, so I put 0. You understand it now? So when I have a point, there is a number before the point and a number after the point. After the point, we have 13. What is the number should I write here? There is nothing, so put 0. You understand it now? Or you replace here 2 zeros.
Yeah.
Did you put here 2 zeros? Just 1 0 for the missing number. You
Yeah.
understand why I put 0? Okay. The number of zeros at denominator, it means the number of digits at the right of the decimal. At the right of the decimal. So we need to solve
Mister,
number.
if it's like 10, so Mister, like if
What is
it
the number?
is
Give
58
me,
and 10, The number is
I don't know 58 over 10
the
now.
number is 10.
I don't know 58 over 10 now. Leave 58 over 10 because there is another condition for this one. Leave it. خلاص? Please, step by step. We need to move step by step. Okay, who can solve with me number 3? Number 3. Number 3. Jed, can you solve this one with me? Okay. Jed, solve this one. Ibrahim Galhoum will be the next one.
You have to shade 95.
At the first 95, what is the meaning of 95? It's mean we'll shade 1, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, then we shade 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 95. Okay? So how we can write it as a decimal? How we can convert this number? 0.95.
0.95.
At the first, I will write 95 here. That's 95. Then, suppose how many zeros at the right? Sorry, that's 95. Sorry, this one is 95 over 1000. How many zeros down that we have?
3.
3. It means we will start counting. 1, 2, but there is no number here. Suppose there is a number, is that right? Because we need 3 numbers at the right of the decimal point. There is no number, so we replace it with 0.
0.
So now we have 1, 2, 3, then we put the decimal. There is nothing after the decimal, so we replace it with with 0. So the answer now will be 0.095. So how we can read this number? It will be 95. What is the denominator that we have here? Or how many decimal at the right of the how many digits at the right of the decimal? How many zeros that we have? What is the number at the denominator? What is the number, Jed? What is the number at the denominator? What is the number? I think the connection is... The number at denominator here is 1000. So we just write 95,000. Then don't forget to write THS. THS, it means the 1000 is written at denominator for the fraction. Any problem for this one? Any problem for this one? Ibrahim Galhoum? Ibrahim Galhoum?
The number 4?
No, just 1 minute. I need to check. If all of you understand it, then we can shift to the other page.
I understand.
Okay. Just 1 minute. You can stay with me, and then we can solve. Walid, any problem, Walid? Walid, any problem? If you have any problem, just raise your hand and I'll explain it one more time. Do you have any problem?
No problem.
Okay. So,
No.
okay. Muhammad Tamer. What's the problem?
Yes, mister.
What's the problem?
Finished the 2 pages and the homework.
Thanks, Wallahi, Muhammad Walid. So, we need Ibrahim Galhoum to solve with me.
Yeah.
Ibrahim Galhoum. Number
First,
3.
and number 4, first we have to shade 3
Coming
lines.
columns, 3 lines. 1, 2, 3. So we need to write now in decimal. At the first, I will write in decimal, then I will write in word. So how we can write this number in decimal?
0.3.
0.3. Yes, that's the first one. 0.3, that's the decimal form. We need to write in word form. How we can write it in word form?
Then write it 3/10.
3/10. Okay, thanks, Ibrahim. We need another one to solve with me. Who can solve this one? If you can solve, just raise your hands. If you can solve, just raise your hand. I need someone to solve question number 5 with me. I need another one. Only Ibrahim. I need another one to solve. Yusuf. Yeah, Yusuf. Yusuf Muhammad.
Yes, mister.
Solve this one with me.
Okay, mister.
So how many
I will start
columns that I will share?
with the decimal columns. We will do 8 and then 6 from
From the small
column.
square. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 480. And now we start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the 6. So now we need to convert to be decimal. How we can convert this one to be decimal?
0.86.
How 0, 0? How 0, 0? Just 1 minute. We need to explain this part and we need to understand. Number 1, to convert from a fraction to be decimal. The first point that you need to check the denominator is, number 1, check the denominator is what?
86.
Denominator, the number down.
100.
10 or 100 or 1,000 or 10,000. If the number is 100, so the first condition that we have is right. The second one, what we have to do, just write the numerator without any change. So just write the numerator without any change, to remember. Write 86 without any change. How many zeros down? That's number 3. How many zeros down to put the point?
2.
2. So we start counting from the right. 1, 2. Then we put the point. Can we leave the point without any number at the left?
No.
So it will be 0.86. Not 0, 0. Just 1, 0. Okay? You understand this one? So the number now will be 0.86. How we can write this number in word form?
In word form?
Yes.
86.
86, yes.
600.
86 what? 100th. You see this one? 100. There is THS. THS means there is 100. It's written at denominator. It means we have a decimal. You understand it? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, Abdurrahman. The next one, Abdurrahman, we need to solve number 6. Number 6, Abdurrahman. Number 6, how we solve it?
Number 6.
Yes.
I write it first in word form.
No problem. Just give me the answer and I will write. You write the word form at first? I think the shaded part is easy. Just we shade 9 lines and 99. No problem for the shaded part. But we need to write in word form. So it will be?
9900.
99 hundredth. There is THS. Don't forget to write the THS at the end. Because 9900, you know what is the difference between 9900 and the 9900 by this way? There is a difference between them. 99. There is a difference between 7, 10 and 7 tenth. There is difference between them. For the first one here, 9900, it's mean 9900, it's mean 2 zeros, so we write 2 zeros. 9900, it's mean 99 over 100. 7 tenth, it's mean 7 and 1 0, so it will be 70. And 700, which is 7 out of 100, there is difference between them. 700, 100 only, it's mean 9,900. Sorry, 9900, which is 9,900. 9900, it's mean 99 over 100. 7 tenths, it means 7 and beside it 0, so it will be 70. But 7 tenths, it means 7 out of 10 as a fraction. So that's the difference between them. If you need to write 3 over 5 as a word form, how you can write this one?
Miss, I don't understand.
Again, for this one, if you need to write any number at denominator, just add THS to the denominator only to represent this number at denominator. So when I need to write 3 over 5 in word form, how can I write it? That's in grade 4. So, but we need to revise it. How can I write 3 over 5 in a word form? So it would be 3 fifths.
3.
How I can
Yeah.
write 4 over 6? It mean, read the first number here.
4.
4. What is the second number?
6.
4 6. There is
4, 6.
nothing. There is nothing. It's called 4 6. But 4 6.
And 6.
If I want to write 3 over 7, how I can write this one?
Mister, just
3.
if it's once, if the digit is once, so we write it THS.
Who said that? If the digit is
Yeah.
once. If the digit is any number written at denominator, just write THS beside this number. Like when you have 12 over 21. 12 over 100. So 12 hundredth.
100.
Any number written at denominator, just add 2HS
Yeah,
this
I
number.
understand.
So to be written at denominator, that's the way to write the number. Okay. So we have here 99 hundredth, and how we can write it as decimal. How we can write this number as a decimal?
99.
Hmm?
99.0.
0.0. So to be 0.99. Ahmed Cindy, can you solve the next one? Ahmed Cindy, just 1 minute. Ahmed Cindy. Okay. Solve
Yes,
number
Mr.
7. Number 7, then Walid will solve the next one. Ahmed Cindy,
Okay.
then Walid. Okay.
So word form and word it's
Number
51
51.
51 1000.
No, 51. Then
51.
what? 1,000. When I ask you to read this number,
Decimal?
just minute. When I ask you to read this number, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. How you read this number? You just divide it into two periods. You say 456 1,000 or 456,000.
456,000.
1,000 without reading 1,000. So that will be the same. The name of the family here for this one is 1,000 direct, without 1,000. So it will be 51,000.
Oh, okay, but Mr. Look, it's 51,000. I didn't say 50. The denominator is 51.
Numerator is 51, yes. 51 what? Thousandth. Without 1,000. Without 51 tenth, not 1/10. 51 hundredth, not 100. You understand it?
Yes.
Suppose that's 51 over 10. So I say 51 tenth. Direct, without 1/10. 51 over 100. So I would say 51 hundredth. Without 100. You get the idea for this one? Is it clear?
No.
Okay. No?
Yes, it's clear.
Clear
yes,
or not
it's
clear? No or yes? Huh?
It's clear.
Final answer. Understand or not?
It's clear. Yes,
Okay.
yes, it's good.
So how we can convert to be decimal?
0.51.
0.51 by this way?
Yeah.
Okay. There is a decimal point. After the decimal point, how many digits?
2.
It's mean the denominator is 100. If there is 2 digits after the decimal point, it's mean the denominator is 100. If the denominator here is 100,
No, it's 1,000.
1,000. It's mean what you say is wrong, not right. So how could be 1,000? How we know that's to be sure? Just write, I said, again for this one. Just write the numerator as it is without any change. Just write 51. How many zeros down that you have?
3.
So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. There is a missing number, and the missing number put 0. And the missing number put 0. Then put the decimal point. So it will be 0.051. 0.051. The last question, I need Walid to solve with me question number 9. Walid, solve question number 9. Walid, I need you to solve question number 9. Okay.
Question number 9.
Yes.
It's 1 out of 1,000.
So how can I write this number in word form?
You must write 1 and 2 zeros and decimal point and then 0.
So in decimal point it will be 0.001. I will just write 1, the numerator without any change. Then we have 3 zeros, so I start counting from right. 1, the missing, 2, 3, then I put the point. So it will be 0.001. Now how can I write it in word form? How you can read this number? What is the numerator?
1,000.
Yes, 1,000.
1,000.
Perfect. There is THS, 1,000. It's mean it's written at denominator. There is difference between 1,000 and 1,000. The first one here, 1,000 by this way. The second one is 1 over 1,000. That is the difference between them. How we can differentiate between them? From the THS that we have at the end. Is that clear now? Any problem for this point? If you didn't understand, just raise your hands, please. If you didn't understand, please raise your hands. If you didn't understand, please raise your hands. Okay. So the homework, please. We need to solve page 33. That will be the homework. And page 34. The homework, I will write now the homework on the group.